And so I was curious to know, did you research like other topics and landed on math?
Yes. So I also researched, because I was doing engineering back in the day. I also researched maybe like engineering TikTok channels, like maybe things I could do like comedy, but I had to be real with myself. And it was like, if I tried to make a TikTok about being funny, I think that would take on way too much stress. That would take way too much stress on me trying to figure out how to be funny than it would be on me being able to take a math concept that may be really long and complicated and condensing it into a 30-second video that's easy for someone to understand. And that's a skill I know I could do and that I would actually have fun doing. So that's why I thought, okay, why don't I just go with this? And what I did was actually I researched other math TikTokers because there are others in the world. And I looked at what videos they were doing, what videos did well. And so when I first started my TikTok, I felt more comfortable making very similar videos to what already worked. So if I saw a video that really worked, got a lot of views, I just tried to maybe make it in a similar style, like talk in a similar style or like solve the problem in a similar style. And then once those started working, later on, I started doing my own thing. Um, it's just to boost my confidence in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a good example of how you would model after some of these like viral or successful videos?
Yes. I think one thing I realized early on, and I'm sure everyone who goes to like marketing 101 already knows all of this, but I realized that it really makes a difference when you have a hook. And it sounds so bad and it's like pretty clickbaity. But if you start off a video, you can have the same exact 30-second video, but if you start off saying something like, if you're doing this, you're making a big mistake, or like 99% of people don't know how to solve this, or like here are 5 things that you need to know about blank. Like people will stay through that video versus if you just kind of like went into it being like, today I'm going to show you how to do blank. That doesn't do as well. So I learned pretty quickly early on that like, okay, I need to start off a video with some type of hook, because if people are scrolling through TikTok every 3 seconds, it's like, why would they stop at your video unless you need something catching this to make them stay. And then what I did afterwards, after my hook, was I would throw a bunch of pencils on the floor, and that would kind of be like my signature move to just let someone know that bam, the class is about to start, and to kind of like wake people up. And then I would go in and do like some catchy like math tips and tricks problem. And I would do that like writing on a piece of paper while I talk over it. But since it's such a quick, snappy 30-second video, what I would do is I would write a script out, and then I would record myself saying it, and then I would write according to the recording. So that's how I make all my videos. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's always so cool to see like behind the scenes, like how people create these videos. Because I know like while the videos themselves may be short, the planning process or the creation process may actually be quite long. How long do you usually spend coming up with one?
It's kind of crazy because there's some videos that could literally take me like 20 minutes to half an hour to make. And there's some videos that would take me like 3 hours
Wow.
to make. So it's really a big range, but I try to keep it 1 hour per video these days, including like researching what I think would do well out there, coming up with a script, recording it, and kind of filming everything. Sometimes the post editing does take a little bit longer, but I try to keep it under that amount of time.
Wow. Yeah, it's really crazy. I think people don't recognize the amount of work that goes behind even like a short, like 30-second clip. Like it's not
Yeah.
just like you just did it in 30 seconds. Like the output was
Yep.
30 seconds, but the time
Yeah.
it takes is actually usually a lot more.
Yeah.
But I think that that's such a great tip around like doing the research to figure out what sort of content work or what sort of structure sort of works. And actually, I think people don't realize that there's actually so much, there's kind of like a science to content creation as well.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Um yeah, so I mean, you started off doing like TikTok videos, you know, you decided on the topic that it was going to be teaching math. Were you like were you kind of just like, oh, like let's just see what happens? Like what I guess like what were you thinking back then?
My thinking was, let's just see where this goes. But I was going to put a lot of effort into it as well, not just like, okay, just kind of like have this going on. I was so desperate to get myself out there and do something that would take off, that I put a lot of time and effort into kind of making this TikTok. And one thing that was difficult is that because I put so much of my time into it, like some videos would do so well and get like millions of views, but then sometimes a video would totally bomb and get like, you know, like 15,000 views. And I mean, 15,000 still sounds a lot, but like it would be compared to all my other videos. And I would always be like, okay, what did I did wrong? And I would feel so bad about myself. So it took, actually, it was crazy because I set a goal for myself at, I wanted 1 million followers for this account on TikTok. And I finally hit that 1 million followers. And then I quit TikTok for 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I quit because during that, and I can like tell you my reasoning after that, because it was actually pretty unhealthy of a journey. Because back then, I think people nowadays understand the TikTok algorithm a little bit more, that, okay, you know, you just got to sometimes put out videos, some will do well, some won't. But back then when TikTok was more in its infancy stage, if your video didn't do well, people wouldn't, you know, you would really blame yourself and be like, I don't understand, like, what did I do wrong? Like, is it me? Like, why am I doing this? And it like really got to me that I just took a mental break off of TikTok for 6 months. And it really helps, because now when I come back to TikTok, if a video does good or a video does bad, it doesn't affect me either way. Yeah, so that break really helped from TikTok.
Wow. But
Yeah,
that's actually kind of crazy to hear that, like, you know, you set, I mean, one, you set a pretty aggressive goal for yourself,
it
which
was
is
aggressive.
amazing. And amazing that you hit it, you know, like I think you're now like well over 1 million
Yeah,
subscribers, right? Like one point, I think I checked this morning, it was like 1.7 million, which is
yeah,
insane. Can I just say, like, like truly amazing. Like I think I'm sure there was like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes that
yeah.
went into that. But I think like truly amazing to have amassed like such a large audience in quite a short amount of time, right? Like it was
Yeah, I think it
like
was like
a
maybe
year, 2 years.
7 months for the first million, or eight
Wow.
months maybe. Yeah,
Wow. That
8 months.
is truly amazing. In
But
eight
you,
months to have amassed. Yeah.
yeah, but you know what I learned from it too is that something like this, everybody in the world will have their opinion on it. Being like, I would have like random friend of my mom being like, okay, this is great, your TikTok, but why aren't you doing this? And why don't you make video like this? That would do so much better. Like all this stuff. And then I realized, you know what? Okay, accept what other people think. And even the comments, there might be a lot of negative comments, but like you're the one in the arena, you know best, and trust your gut, and you know, keep doing what you think will do best and what you can give back to the community. So that was one thing that I really learned.
Wow. And I think that is very powerful because it's very easy to get swept up into listening to everybody around you, whether it's
Yes.
with your content or even in your career. I think sometimes people just feel like they want to opine on your career and tell you what's
Yes.
next and what you should do. And maybe you should go back to a job or maybe you should do
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. And the scariest thing of putting yourself out there is like, okay, say if you have like a finance job or like my job in engineering, somebody on the outside, they can't really tell you what to do during work. They just don't even understand. It's like, you know, it's like, but now if you're an entrepreneur, usually like when you have to start a company and you need to start from scratch, and if you're making something like direct to consumers, say you're making like, I don't know, water bottles or iPhone cases, or like, you know, some type of nutritional supplements, or even maybe a career coach like you, it's like easy for everybody to say like, no, you should be doing this and do that and do that. And it's like good to welcome ideas and, you know, criticism. But I think one thing I realized, and a lot of my friends who are on this journey realized too, is that we can't get too sidetracked by this, and also just stay the course and stay focused, and don't let like negative comments like get to you.
Yeah.